Peace, welcome back, y'all. So, let's talk about being in separation and what's the matter? Say hi. All right, so let's talk about the treasures, the gold of being in separation. Okay, being in a knowledgeable union, knowing your partner, seeing your partner in the flesh is a good thing. A lot of people feel like separation is a bad thing because they can't reach the person that they truly love and all that good old stuff. But being separated at times, we like a lot of us in the union, a spiritual union, we come and go out of each other's lives. People would say that maybe you're not meant to be together, or maybe you guys just a toxic situation. And I tell people a lot, that just because it looks that way, it don't mean it seems that way. Because somebody that's actually on this real union knows that separation is a blessing. Is a blessing only because, you know, nobody likes to be smothered. Like, this connection is a very powerful connection. We're talking about soul connection, like something that's eternal, life after life. It's like, when you get around somebody for so long, you tend to get bored after a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you a soulmate who, bless you, baby, if you're a soulmate who actually in a real union and have found your true and other half, um, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, those who are in a real union knows that sometimes you just need this space. It could be overwhelming when two souls come back to one, okay, or when two bodies come back to one, because it is one soul guiding both of us back together. So, um, it could be very intense, and I speak from experience. So, when me and my twin separate, we don't separate out of hate. There's definitely still love there, but it's like it could be very intense because we live the same but two individual bodies. We both have two different levels and two different paths and everything else. So sometimes being apart to connect back to oneness. See, the oneness is above. It's like a pyramid. Just picture, if you can visualize me building a pyramid. Okay, I'm drawing it out. So at the top is oneness, and down below, but still connected, is the male and feminine, the masculine and feminine. Okay, so you got the masculine and feminine, and then you have the oneness at the top, which we call a pyramid, which is oneness. Sometimes we have to both, even though you see the pyramids are still connected, because you're still connected. There's the dots at the end, and you're still connected. It's all still connected. So it doesn't matter how far we go from each other, who we decide to be with, who we decide, how far we run, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. In separation, we're still connected because even though we're separated in physical, we're still connected with oneness, which is spirit. Okay? It was spirit that brought us, navigated us back together. It's going to be spirit that's going to keep us together. So, separation has already happened when you guys or us separated and decided to come down in two different bodies. See, this was a decision that was made by spirit. To say that we chose to deal with the partners, I beg to differ, only because, like I said, when you're on this journey, you tend to learn a lot about life and the truth of it all. Um, shit does happen. You know what I mean? Shit does happen. But spirit will always manipulate the universe to bring us back together. Sometimes I don't want to deal with him. Sometimes he don't want to deal with me. But at the end of the day, when we come together, it's explosive. And it's too intense. Hold on a second. Let me Oops. Okay, no, that's not it. So it can get too intense, too overwhelming, okay? Too overwhelming. And, nobody really wants to, reach the end of the line that fast anyway, Like, you could just picture yourself, like, reaching the end of the line. Some people just like to keep going, but because they don't understand what's coming up next. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of these twins run from themselves because they believe and think that it's the ending when they don't realize it's a beginning of something new. Ooh, you gonna pull my hair? Okay, he's pulling my hair. Okay, baby, thank you. You got there playing with my weave. Anyway, so nobody wants to feel like they've reached the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? Not all the time. Not everybody feel like they have grown enough. So people will still go out and test the waters of the universe and get get their ass burned. But like I said, spirit, it's like your mother and your father. If you disobey your parents, they're gonna whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? That's no different from the universe. You disobey your God, and your God will send you through all kinds of hell. But that doesn't necessarily mean you had to learn it that way. You can learn to be humble to yourself being alone by questioning your decisions and making better choices. So when somebody say, oh, they had to learn it, no, they will learn it. You know what I mean? They will learn, because when you go against, even being in separation, okay, we still learn. That doesn't necessarily mean we had to go into separation to learn it. We just had to separate when it comes to trying to control situations. We were trying to control each other. I'm trying to control him, he's trying to control me. That's when spirit decides that we need to actually just understand that separation is healthy for us, because we can't control anything. We just need to go with the flow. So when you're in separation, and you are by yourself, you need to take that time to realize, like, how much you love, and the pros and the cons, of the union. I know I'm a mellow person. I'm a very, very laid back. I got a lot of masculine energy. I could care less. So you don't see me too bubbly, but believe me, underneath me, I'm I'm definitely the opposite. But it is what it is. Like, I'm not upset. I know I need to smile a lot in my videos, but like I said, I'm breaking out, because to be honest with you, like, this journey has definitely changed me internally, and now I'm trying to manifest it physically by being a more cheerful person. But that's later on down the road. I'm working on it. I'm not a very people person. I just don't really care about anything, because I'm more spiritual than I am just too physical. Like, a lot of people are drawn to me, and I didn't understand why, but now I know. But anyway, like I said, being in separation is not bad at all, and I wish people would take the moment and the time, whether it takes years, to understand, like, growth doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You want chicken and dip? It takes time, but just because we're in separation, that don't mean spirit is not doing what it needs to do. If you're sleeping, your spirit is going where it needs to go, because nothing will stop the spirit from fulfilling its purpose, no matter if the body doesn't catch up. The body will eventually catch up to itself, okay? And hopefully when, the body does catch up to itself, it's not too late. See? It's not about the spirit being late. The spirit's going to always continue. The spirit's going to love the companion it chooses. The spirit is going to pursue with its purpose regardless, And that's what we have to understand. So being in separation is just to keep you and your partner sane. Because when you're together and we can't handle the pressure, You have to be separated. Do they have to go into another relationship? No, they don't have to go into another relationship. But some of them just choose to because they don't understand that they're just not, they're not their physical body, see? So the ones who do run, they tend to detach from spirituality. But when you're in separation and they can't get you out of their head, and they hear your cries, and they hear your love, and they feel your love, and they feel all this connection, and you're not even with them, then they start to realize that, damn, okay, well, maybe this person is, if they do have another partner, what they will do with this other partner is they would try to manipulate their own minds to believe that the partner that they're with is the one for them, when deep down inside they know it's not. Because at the end of the day, the soul of the companion, which is the soul that is the oneness, will always tell the person who believes in their own mind that this person is the one, that they're not the one, with a constant reminder, a reflection of their true soulmate. But that's why I've seen 11:11, peace to the gods. At the end of the day, I mean, like I said, separation is not really bad. Like, for people who like myself and my twin, we definitely in denial here and there and there and here, because we're like years apart. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're a decade apart from each other. So we're born in different times, which raised in different areas, and we went through almost the same things in our life, but he's a male, I'm a female. We experience things differently, but experience the same. You know what I'm saying? So it does take a lot to know that you have to. It's almost like you being pushed to do something you don't want to do. What? Like, his resistance is still a reflection of my resistance, because I mean, I'm not perfect, but I'm thankful, and I appreciate spirit, and my goal is to stick with spirit only because I don't want to make it a physical thing. I don't want to just be cuddled every day and forget spirit. I don't want to deceive the spirit, because see, spirit is trying to tell us while we're in separation that it's not the body that's loving you, it's the spirit. That is not the body that's doing anything other than, the physical part. But it's not that you craving, it's spiritual. So when they separate us two, we tend to tap back in telepathically. We tend to tap back in, back into the consciousness, being separated. That's almost like an ego death. It's almost like, it's almost like an ego death. Just take away two egos, one big old ego, just split them up, and it won't fight each other to the point where, now you're dealing with the conscious mind of it all. So when you're in separation, that's just to get your consciousness back together. Get your physical body and your consciousness back intact, okay? Before you met your partner, you was intact in a certain kind of way. You was connected in a certain kind of way, because if you wasn't connected, you would have never found them, okay? To find your partner, you had to be fully connected, to be guided to each other, to hear the calling, okay? That's it. Separation is to get you connected back to your oneness. So make sure you guys tap back in, okay? Get back on your path, go with the flow, spiritual connection starts with the soul, starts with spirit. If there's no miracle in it and it's just physical, then you have to try again until you find another. Don't go seeking it. Just listen, okay? Listen to the truth within you, and you'll learn that separation is not a bad thing. You'll be needing your space, if you especially need some more work. Like, I need more work done for myself, as well as he need more work done for him. But your job is to fulfill your purpose, whether you like it or not. And once we accept our fate, things will be different. I'm not mad. I love my twin, of course, but I'm more in love with the truth at B. I'm more in love with the spirit that's always with me than the body. You understand what I'm saying? So be in love with what you connected with first. You understand me? Before you met your partner, You was in love with the feeling. You was in love with the intuitive connection. You was in love with the bond of spirit before you found the body. Okay, and then when the body was present, it's not anything like you expected it to be, and all that, so on, so off, so off. But spirit is telling you it was never the body. That was just my shell. That's my shell. Okay, what you ran into was my shell. But who I am, you know who I am. So when we start allowing the body to take us off track and lose ourselves, then that's what separation happens. Like, two people will get together physically and then start being physical and forget that it was a spiritual connection. See, we have to acknowledge the spirituality because we want to make sure that our God is happy, that we acknowledge it. Okay, we acknowledge our spirit for bringing us back together. We acknowledge our spirit for doing this and doing that. We have to acknowledge. But when the two bodies come together, we forget about the spiritual connection. We don't want to meditate together. We don't want to activate the kundalini. We don't want to balance the chakras. We don't want to do anything. We're just fucking and getting to work and then chilling and all this other shit. But we have to actually we have to acknowledge spirit and thank spirit. Like, you wouldn't just thank your Most High for, you would thank your Most High for blessing you. So we have to thank our Most High 24 hours a day, every day, all day, for bringing us together. And until we can do that as beings in separation from our union, we won't have the union that we seek, because we're not seeking within ourselves first. We still have to seek within ourselves first before we can seek without and find our companions. Okay, so, and then when we do find our companions, we still have to stay within self, because sometimes one partner will get off track, but that don't mean the other one has to follow. Somebody has to stay on track. So stay in tune with yourself. Separation is not a bad thing. It's only an illusion. And love yourself as if yourself, as if you're within yourself. And you can't go wrong, whether your twin runs or not. You can't go wrong because the love is still there. Because you love yourself enough. You have to love yourself first. Right, baby? You have to love yourself first. And nobody can hurt you. And that goes for even people in a regular, smegular, dregular, begular, whatever, shegular union. You still have to love yourself. You still have to love who you are inside. I'm not talking about your hair, your nails, and shit like that. That's all cool. I'm talking about the soul behind the eyes. The spirit that's carrying you on every day. You know what I'm saying? That's who you gotta love. That's who you gotta love. So that when somebody who don't love you come along, you connected with yourself to know whether to deal with them or not. You connected with yourself. Even when your soulmate come along or your twin flame come along, and they're not in the physical condition that they're supposed to be, and they're actually still toxic, your spirit will still tell you to back off of them and stuff. It is what it is. So if you go with the flow of spirit, you can't go wrong. So that's why loving yourself is amazing, because the connection is definitely real. So stay in tune to who you are, because you are love and you are amazing. And make sure you tap in. When you go to bed at night, don't pray to a Bible or a Quran. You need to pray to you. You need to pray to the Creator within yourself. And you'll wake up a better person every day. So anyway, check the description box for more information. Please subscribe. I got more videos to come. Shout out to all the new subscribers that have subscribed. I know, baby. And you will be seeing me and my baby boy on my lives and my readings and all that good stuff. Okay? So, peace.